Hello, I want to talk about how depression can be or is diagnosed. So there's nine traits that um, can show up. They can and go. They can come and go under the depression umbrella. But to be actually diagnosed, you've got to have at least five of those traits, or I guess traits, characteristics, kinds of things going on at any one given sort of 2 week period, at least 2 weeks, 2 week period. So if you were to go and see a psychiatrist, for example, they would assess you. They would go through these sorts of questions. I mean, these aren't specifically written out like these that I'm going to go through, but effectively, there are nine, and I'll read them out here for you, and it's quite interesting to see how a depressive or depression diagnosis can actually be attributed to somebody. Okay, so the first one is lasting sad, anxious, or empty mood. So basically, a mood that is lower than you would normally like perceive for a longer period of time. Number two, a loss of interest in almost all activities. So if you've got hobbies, family, kids, friends, whatever it is, you could be, whatever, ballet dance or whatever, and then you just think to yourself, do you know what? I'm just going to sit and do nothing, watch TV, play on my phone, for example, or just go through the motions of your phone kind of thing. So it's that loss of interest in what you would previously think would be your go-to things that make you happy. And number three, appetite and weight changes. So that can be increased appetite or decreased appetite, losing weight or gaining weight. I personally gained weight when you know, I was first diagnosed. So I haven't managed to shift it. I had bad timing with COVID as well. So, I was just sitting there eating a fair amount, really. Um, Number four is changes in sleep patterns, such as inability to sleep or sleeping too much. So it can be not just like insomnia, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. You can go the whole other um, in the whole other direction and just sleep too much, going to bed early, falling asleep on the sofa, just not really kind of doing a proper night's sleep, as it were, your 8 hours kind of thing. This is typical. Um, Number five, slowing of physical activity, speech, and thinking or agitation, increased restlessness and irritability. So I'll go through each one of that. So slowing of physical activity. For example, you used to go running, play football, play tennis, uh, ballet, trampoline, whatever it would be, right? Um, so you don't do that as much. Speech, for example, you just your speech actually kind of becomes like lower, like, rather than a little bit more um, excitable. I want to use that word. Okay. Um, and agitation, increased restlessness and irritability. So, for example, perfect example of that, snapping back at people when they say something about you, um, you get quite paranoid with certain things, And because you're so lethargic about things, that goes hand in hand with this, in that you might be sitting on the sofa, kind of not doing anything because you don't have the energy and the kind of mental energy as well as physical energy. Sorry, my dog's trying to get in the door, so she's rattling it. And yeah, so you become irritable and restless with everything, and anything that you do and everybody around you. Number 6 is decreased energy, feeling tired or slowed down almost every day. I just mentioned that with the previous part, where it's a kind of level of fatigue, but it's kind of because you're not doing a lot of your normal physical activity and stuff like that, and getting your endorphins flowing when you do the activities that you like. So the energy kind of just slows right down, and it's difficult to pick back up from there. Number 7, ongoing feelings of worthless or feelings of undue guilt. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the restlessness and irritability, in that the if you're feeling kind of worthless and lethargic and fatigued and tired all the time, you have that feeling, that empty feeling. Whatever you do isn't good enough. It'll only take one kind of contradictory comment that will just amplify that, the hundredfold. It's not a nice position to be in. Number 8, trouble concentrating or making decisions. That is exactly how it is. It's like a brain fog, and as you get more and more depressed, this gets increasingly worse, and where you would be able to do the most basic of things become quite a chore, and you miss bits out, and you struggle to follow like guidelines or instructions and things like that. It becomes very, very difficult, particularly at work, in a work situation. And then the last one is repeating thoughts of death, or I'm going to use the unaliving word here, or attempting unaliving. Or self, do dying. So that's exactly how it says on the tin. Anything like that at all. So any of those 9, if you show 5 of those, you will be diagnosed with a type of depression, depending on your own circumstances, whether it's like major depressive disorder or there's loads of others, like bipolar disorder. I can't think of the other ones, but there's varying sort of levels of depression that you can be diagnosed with. So it's quite interesting to see that there's those 9 different things and how they affect you. I personally have gone through all 9 at some point or another, some all at the same time, and yeah, it can be pretty tough, let's say. But there's treatment out there, and if you look in the right places, there is good treatment, and that's always, it's always a good thing. So if you're showing signs of these, reach out, talk to somebody. Basically, talking really, really helps. All right. So until next time, I shall see you later.